The FBI just sent a warning to California police departments. Iran may be planning a drone attack on the West Coast. And the method they're reportedly looking at? Launching drones from a ship offshore. Here's what we know. What would a drone attack on California actually look like? Because the FBI is warning that this might not be a hypothetical question anymore. So here's what happened. The FBI's Los Angeles office issued a memo to local law enforcement, and that memo got out this week. It says the Bureau received unverified information that Iran allegedly aspired to launch a surprise attack on U.S. soil using unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, against unspecified targets in California. The word aspired is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. This isn't confirmed intel. There's no specific date, no named target, and no identified perpetrators. But the FBI still felt it was serious enough to send a bulletin. And the timing matters. This warning surfaced during the ongoing U.S. and Israel conflict with Iran, raising the question of whether this could be a retaliation scenario. Now, here's the part that's getting a lot of attention. The memo says Iran was allegedly looking at launching drones from a vessel, a ship, positioned off the U.S. coast. Not from Iranian soil, from offshore. That's a completely different kind of threat than a traditional missile strike. Drones launched from a ship in international waters are harder to track, harder to intercept with conventional air defense, and harder to attribute immediately. The question everyone's asking, does Iran even have drones that could pull this off? Security analysts say, yeah.
And Armada, we have a massive fleet heading in that direction, and maybe we won't have to use it. We'll see.
That could theoretically reach coastal targets from an offshore vessel. California Governor Gavin Newsom addressed this directly, and his message was measured. He said, and I'm quoting here, "While we are not aware of any imminent threats at this time, we remain prepared for any emergency in our state." Newsom also confirmed that the state activated its Emergency Operations Center when the U.S.-Iran conflict began, so the state isn't caught off guard. The LAPD and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department have both released statements saying they're actively monitoring the situation. And multiple U.S. law enforcement and intelligence officials told CBS News there is currently no known specific threat behind this memo, meaning this is more of a precautionary bulletin than a confirmed plot. But precautionary doesn't mean ignore it. Here's where it gets nuanced. Homeland Security experts are actually flagging a different concern as the more likely risk, cyber attacks. Former DHS Assistant Secretary Samantha Vinograd pointed out that while Iran absolutely has drone capability, their track record on U.S. soil has historically leaned towards cyber operations and alleged murder-for-hire plots targeting dissidents and officials in America. A drone strike directly on California would be an enormous escalation, an act of war, essentially. Experts say that kind of move carries massive consequences Iran would have to weigh carefully. That doesn't mean it's impossible. It means we need to be precise about the difference between capability, intent, and likelihood. First, don't panic. Law enforcement is watching this. Officials at the federal and state level are coordinating. The memo itself is based on unverified information. Second, pay attention. The fact that the FBI distributed this bulletin means they're taking the threat seriously enough to prepare local departments. That's not nothing. And third, this is a reminder that modern threats don't just come from missiles across oceans. They can come from commercial vessels, off the coast, using technology that's becoming cheaper and more accessible every year. The nature of national security is changing fast. That's the breakdown. FBI warning, California on alert, officials saying prepared but no imminent threat. I'll keep tracking this story as it develops. If you found this useful, subscribe, because when news moves this fast, you want someone breaking it down clearly. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How seriously do you take this? I want to know what you think. I'll see you in the next one.